I have not taken a bite out of the burger yet. Why do I eat so slow? There's a thing that Japan does, right? That like makes me wonder if it's Japan just built different. Is that when you deliver drinks from like fast food restaurants and stuff, or even like getting coffee. For example, you know, the Green Mermaid, when I would order coffee from them sometimes, they have an extra lid inside the normal lid. So I always keep forgetting, and I try to drink, and I'm just like, why is there no coffee coming out of my cup? It's like the cup is heavy. I'm tilting the cup, but there's no liquid coming out. And I'm just like, oh, right, they have a non-spill lid. I'm just like, that is actually so smart. Because the number of times, like, half of the drink just gets spilled out of the bag when I ordered delivery back home is insane. Like, I once had a time where it was like a paper bag, and like, the lower half of the bag was just soaked. And I looked, and I ordered a large coffee, right? And what I got was a medium coffee in a large coffee cup. The spill-proof lid is smart, but there are places like what I ordered just now that don't have those extra steps, right? But what they do is they use two lids and they stagger the straw hole so that you can't spill the drink out of the straw hole. And I'm just like, why isn't my straw going in? And I was like, oh, that's actually pretty genius. That's just big brain. I mean, it's not the greatest for the environment, but at the same time, it's quite ingenious. But what if the hole is in the middle? That's why they designed the hole so it's not in the middle. That's what I realized. The straw hole's here. It's not in the center. I wonder if that's on purpose. If the plastic is disposed of properly or burned, it's fine. Well, I guess Japan does recycle quite strictly. Alright, I shall take a few bites out of my burger and then we shall get started. Oh my goodness, why is the burger so big? Our boss's buns are big. I don't remember Whoppers being this big. I feel like the burger itself is bigger than my stomach. You know how they say like if you like clench your fist, it's like the size of your stomach? It's definitely like 1.5 size my fist. It's the size of your heart? Oh, I always thought it was my stomach. Well, you know what they say? A way to a girl's heart is through her stomach. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I forgot to tell you guys the funny story about my family. Oh my god, this is turning into a chatting stream. Okay, one of the stories was when we were driving somewhere. Ina'nis always asks these like out of the blue random questions a lot. So she's so funny because we'd just be sitting silently in the car, just like, you know, doing our own stuff, looking at our phones, driving, looking outside. And she'll just drop these questions. She'll just be like, if you ever meet an alien, what's the first thing you're gonna ask them? Oh, right. So, Mama-nis was cooking at home. And I think Papa-nis was picking me up. That's what it was. So, Papa-nis, Ina'nis, and I were sitting in the car. And Papa-nis's answer is, where are you from? Which is a very standard question. And then Ina'nis's answer was that she would ask how many different kinds of aliens are out there. Because she's like, I'm sure that, you know, they might come from all kinds of different planets and whatnot, but I want to know how many of them there are in the world. And then I was like, yeah, reasonable question. And then we arrived at home and we asked Mama-nis. Mama-nis was like, my question would be, where are you from? I'm just like, you're just like Dad. Okay, you share a brain cell. Okay. And then I stopped them and I was like, Mom, Dad, Sis, these are great questions, but not the correct question. And they were like, huh? I was like, you know, the real correct question is, did you eat yet? And they were like, they had question marks above their heads. And I was like, you know, you're asking those questions, but if you think about it from their point of view, those are some private questions, right? Like, you just met them. And it's just like, hey, these might be some confidential info, but where are you from? How many of you are there? It's like, whoa. Hold your horses. You gotta get to know them first before you ask these questions. And what better way to get to know them by sharing food together? A way to a girl's heart is through her stomach. It's like a very human thing to do, right? You gotta... Eating together is like a cultural connection, you know? You eat together, you get to know each other, you talk, you chit-chat, and then you ask the questions once you've gotten to know them a little better. It's an alien thing to do, but think about it. The aliens were curious enough to come to Earth. Like, of course, they'd be very curious about what kind of food and stuff we eat. It's like when we go on vacations at a new country and stuff too, we're just like, wait, I'm here for the food. I'm here to experience new things. I'm sure they're here to kind of, you know, experience what the stuff is like. What if they came to eat humans? Well, then we're doomed. Maybe not doomed, but you know. Okay, a couple more bites, guys. I'm sorry. We're reaching the 45-minute mark soon. It would have been fun if I just ordered something really simple, close to the house. But somehow I was craving a burger. Maybe I need to take iron supplements again. I haven't been eating too much meat. Iron levels are pretty low, probably. How's it compared to back home? I think the bread is a little different. But the meat texture and stuff is about the same. I think Japan just does bread differently. Like, I never realized how different flour makes a big difference. Because there's a cafe I went to, and they had like a toast set, and you could choose between different breads that they make there. And you can choose one from like Japanese flour, and one from like the US flour, and one from like France or something. And I was like, okay, I'll try them. And for the Japanese bread, it was like a usual shokupan, but it was so like mochi mochi and delicious. And then I think the US one was a lot like more, not as mochi mochi, but it was really good too. All of them are really good, but they all had different textures and like different way they recommend if you toast it or just eat it raw and stuff. But I have to say my preference was the one that used the JP flour, because I really love when like shokupan is like crispy on the outside but like soft and mochi mochi on the inside. I mean, I don't really like eating normal bread back home, but at the same time, I don't know if it's the way they made it. It might just be the cafe that's just really good at making bread. But even like the US flour bread was really good. I was like, if this was in the stores back home, I would totally eat this. I want to steal their recipe because their bread is so good. Okay, one more bite and I think I'm done for now. My. I didn't mean to do the full transition.